It's Steelers week.
The Pittsburgh Steelers better be looking in their rear view because you have a team right there on your heels.
Every game, every drive, every snap has led to this moment.
The season is not over.
This is more than just a game. This is a statement. We leave no doubt.
All day long they want to stay.
Caught! Boom. Jamar Chase with a touchdown!
A promise that we are here. Every step shakes the ground. Every play ignites the air. The moment calls for everything we are and everything we've yet to become.
Eight games remain as the Bengals take on their rivals in Week 11 with a chance to shake things up with the AFC North standings. Welcome in to Bengals Weekly. I'm Marissa Contapelli. The opportunity this week is massive. Divisional standings at play, and it's the second tilt against the AFC North leading Steelers, and it's on their turf. So as we get you set for this AFC North showdown, we head down to field level with one of the best hype men in the game, Jamar Chase, who is mic'd up in Week 9. As the NFL continues to honor veterans and military members during Salute to Service, we'll show you how growing up in a military family helped shape rookie Jalen Rivers. We'll check in with the guys in the locker room as they prepare for a tough Pittsburgh environment. And on Countdown, I'll tell you more about Charlie Jones's opening kick return touchdown against the Bears. But first, the Bengals finished off their tour of the NFC North by hosting the Chicago Bears before hitting the bye week. Joe Flacco had a career day as the game was filled with emotion and drama, all the way down to the final seconds. So before we set our sights on Week 11, let's turn back the clock to Week 9. Here's from the Jungle.
For more than 2 decades, the AFC North has widely been considered the NFL's best and toughest division. But this year, the King of the North is completely up for grabs. The Bengals are currently 3-5, and if they win today, they could be playing for first place in their next game at Pittsburgh. And it is time for the pigskin to fly here in the Jungle.
Great job. What's the point? Moving our feet. Move our feet. Stay in front. Nobody loses left. Nobody got to get the ball. Hey, no fouls. Great. That guy great. Hey, let's get him in the end zone, baby.
Cairo Santos getting ready to kick it off. Charlie Jones and Samaje Perine back to return. This kick launched high and deep. Charlie Jones catches at the 1 and sprints up the middle of the field. He's to the 20, the 30. It's him versus the kicker. Jones down the sideline. 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown!
Let's go, baby!
Charlie Jones with his second kick return touchdown of his NFL career.
99 yards to get the party started by Jones.
Come on, man. Hit that fast as too. Hit that shit fast as. That's my family in the end zone. Oh, it was? That's fire. That was them. You jumped in? That's fucking hard. That's hard. That's hard.
When did you start feeling that hope in that game, late in that fourth quarter?
Obviously, I think when you go down and then you think what you have is a touchdown and no, it's incomplete, and then you throw an interception, and obviously at the time you thought they scored a touchdown. That was probably that at that point, you probably weren't thinking too much about it.
Chicago 34, Cincinnati 27. It's going to be a great drive start for the Bears. 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line of Cincinnati.
End around, it's DJ Moore. He's got Loveland blocking. Moore trying to pound his way to the end zone. He's knocked out short. They have ruled a Chicago touchdown by DJ Moore.
I think we were down by 14 and we were going out there, and I said, hey, listen, crazier things have happened. Like somebody, a coach that was standing right there, you know. I think it was a tight ends coach.
1:47 to go at the 23 of Chicago. The Bengals look for a miraculous finish, a touchdown, an onside kick recovery, and then another TD. Shotgun snap, Flacco throwing up the field. It is caught by Noah Fant, and the Bengals will go for 2 with 1:43 to go.
So Zach Taylor says, let's go for the 2-point try right here.
If you get the 2 points now, then you can win it. If you don't, you still have an opportunity to tie if you didn't have a touchdown.
Flacco drops back, throws it into the end zone, and it is caught for the 2-point conversion by T. Higgins.
You know, when you go down and you score and you make it a one-score game, I mean, anything can happen. Onside kicks, not very likely, but who knows?
The Bengals are down by 6, 41-35. They're going to try for an onside kick, and if they recover it, there would be plenty of time left to try for a game-winning touchdown.
McPherson lines up, looking for the bounce. Football live. Who's got it? Cincy is saying they've got it, and they do. Unbelievable.
No way.
58 seconds to go. The Bengals trail the Bears by 6 points. Flacco ready for the shotgun snap. He catches. Short drop. Firing into the end zone. Caught by Andre Yosivas. The Bengals have tied it.
That way to answer, brother. Man. That way to answer, Dre.
About 20 yards from being within field goal range. 25 seconds left. Williams in the gun with Monungai to his left.
Williams slings it. Williams. Loveland bangs off his man. He's going to score. Home. Colston Loveland in a jaw dropper.
Well, it's tough, you know. I mean, but anytime you're on the losing end, it's tough. I think when you've played a lot of games, the way you lose doesn't make it any worse necessarily. You know, I think you learn that these games come down to the last minute, and you got to be ready for anything. And, you know, a win's a win, a loss is a loss.
Hey, where the camera at? Zoom in on the socks.
Wait, what happened with Uno's socks? Well, coming up next, we put the mic on Jamar to find out. Stay with us here on Bengals Weekly. Bengals Weekly is brought to you by Kettering Health, the official healthcare provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. Altifiber, the official Wi-Fi and internet provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. And Paycor, proud to be the official HR software provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. Now, I hope everyone has a hype person in their life like Jamar Chase. Now, there is no question that Uno is one of the best players in the game, but the love that he has for his teammates is truly unmatched. Let's now head down to field level for some Jamar on the mic.
I'm hot mic today, just letting y'all know. Found out when I put my shoulder pads on, but got my hot. Good hands, good feet. Good hands, good feet. Good hands, good feet.
Charlie Jones going to play it from just inside his end zone, and Jones has his seam. Jones, 30, 20, 10, touchdown!
Let's go, baby! Let's go, baby! Let's go, baby! Hey, hey! Hit that fast as too! Hit that shit fast as. Hell yeah, Chuck! That's a way to start the game off.
That's my family in here. That's us.
Oh, it was? That's fire. That was them you jumped in? That's fucking hard. That's hard. That's hard. That's hard. Come on, man. Execute right here. Execute.
Flacco throws it down the left side, caught by Jamar Chase. Shotgun snap to Flacco, drops back 5 steps, fires a deep ball, left side. T. Higgins comes away with the football.
He's small. He's too small. You that boy. You that boy. You that boy, man.
Bro, that's incredible, bro.
That's one of them for sure. That's one of them for sure.
I caught it.
You ISO'd the out his ass. It looked like you didn't even try to catch it, bro. That's just stuck to your hand. All I see was T swim move him in. Oh my God, that's crazy.
For all the lethality that he's got in the open terrain, Jamar Chase, a pickup of 37. First and goal, Bengals.
Come on, man. Why my socks look lighter than the other?
It is.
They are?
Hey, where the camera at? Zoom in on your sock.
I just grabbed some. I ain't gonna lie.
Shotgun snap caught by Flacco, throws into the end zone. T. Higgins with the catch, knocks over the pylon.
Touchdown from the big-bodied T. Higgins getting it done.
You know, they talking about 5. You that guy, 5. You that guy, bro. They talking about, man. Man, it's too easy for you over there, 5.
What's grabbing on the spit?
Yeah, what else? What you think? Go hands, go feet, though. Go hands, go feet. Go hands, go feet.
Second and goal. Flacco, end zone, touchdown! Yossi Bush!
That would have answered, brother. Man. That would have answered, Dre.
When we return, we check in with the trio who rewind the clock and take a look at some of T. Higgins' top moments. Stay with us here on Bengals Weekly. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. T. Higgins kept an impressive streak alive in Week 9 when he found the end zone thanks to a Joe Flacco 44-yard strike. So it got our guys thinking, what have been some of the top T. Higgins moments that we have witnessed in stripes? And this one was difficult to narrow down to just 3. Here's Dan, Dave, and Jeff with more.
T. Higgins has scored a touchdown in 9 straight home games at Paycor Stadium. He'll look to add to that incredible streak a week from Sunday when the Bengals host the Patriots. And in this Who Dey conversation, we are teeing up our top 3 T. Higgins performances. Lap, you're up first.
How about a Super Bowl performance from T. Higgins? That was extraordinary. First, you have a halfback option pass. Joe Mixon sold the fact that he was running the football. That's a key to it. And then T. Higgins is all by his lonesome. That was an easy pitch and catch right there. The thing about T. Higgins is he's got such extraordinary physical talents. Big hand, snatches the football, just plucks it out of the sky, tucks it away. Very strong, very long arm, very strong. Hard to separate him from the football once he puts it away. And then his run after catch is extraordinary. His size, speed, strength ratio is off the charts.
Hard to top 2 touchdowns in a Super Bowl, but where do we go next?
I go to last year and that game against Denver. I kid T when he makes those big, tough, contested catches. He gets it like a Game 7 Bill Russell rebound. T. Higgins never gives up the ball on his contested catch. It's what he did against Denver, which was basically a Game 7. It was an elimination game for the Bengals. They had to win it. T did what he was supposed to do and mossed Riley Moss. 131 yards, 3 touchdowns, a career high. And of course, we remember the walk-off touchdown, the 3-yard fling from Joe Burrow, the only walk-off offensive touchdown in Bengals history. But the play before that, talk about vintage T with a nod to his idol, A.J. Green, the great Bengal receiver. Somehow he catches the ball. He keeps both feet in, but that's the backbreaker, a 31-yarder. And big game T, he's got 15 100-yard games, 6 of them in the month of December. Big game T, Game 7, T.
Well, that leaves me with several great T. Higgins performances, including a career-high 194-yard receiving game against the Ravens in the Super Bowl season, or the unselfish slide earlier this year against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I'm actually turning the clock back to 2023 in a game against the Vikings. The Bengals were down by 2 touchdowns going to the fourth quarter, and the comeback began when T caught a TD pass from Jake Browning. It was their first touchdown all day. But it was not their last, because down by 7 with less than a minute to go, Browning threw a desperation heave off his back foot. T caught it at the 1 and somehow whipped his arm around his shoulder and got the ball over the pylon. I don't know how he was able to do that swooping maneuver. You can actually separate your shoulder just from watching the replay, but it was a great play. I think it's T's most memorable single play of his NFL career, but who knows? He could top it the next time the Bengals take the field. 3 great moments from T. Higgins, the subject of this Who Day conversation.
The NFL's Salute to Service initiative honors veterans and military members year-round. And coming up next, we'll tell you more about the Bengals Salute to Service Award nominee and his military roots. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. Salute to Service has been an integral part of the NFL's commitment to recognize and honor veterans and the military community. Jalen Rivers is this year's Bengals Salute to Service Award nominee. Jalen's father, mother, and stepfather all served in the U.S. Navy, and his upbringing in a military household is a direct reflection as to who he is today.
All 3 of my parents were in the military. My dad did 24, my mom did 26, my stepdad did 30.
Sometimes I don't think people know the sacrifices that military, what we go through, what we do, us being recognized, Jalen being recognized. I think that's outstanding.
It means a lot to be nominated for this award, to give back to the veterans, because they did a lot for us in this country. How are you? Yes, sir, appreciate you. I think I could tackle one of you guys. Don't hurt yourself now.
I served 26 years in the U.S. Navy, and I retired in 2014. I was going to do 4 years, go to college. I love to serve my country, and I love the camaraderie, the people, and that made me want to just keep going.
30 years in the military, served on 5 ships, 2 tours and special ops, 14 deployments. I was in a long time, but it all started with my stepfather, who I introduced as my dad because he raised me, just like I raised Jalen. He was in the Army for 20 years.
My dad, he spent 24 years in the military. When we moved away to Virginia, he made a lot of effort, move or drive up to Jacksonville, come to my games, come to, ceremonies for schools and stuff. All my parents sacrificed a lot, but my dad, being away from me a majority of my life, he was doing his job. They all did a great job raising all of us.
I wasn't able to have kids. Here he is, my miracle child.
That's literally my best friend. So growing up, at one point, it was just me and her.
When he was only 2, I had to deploy for 9 months. And then when I came back, I'm like, is he gonna know me? At first, he was like, he didn't say anything. He said, don't leave me again.
So it was tough not being there to call her whenever or talk to her face to face.
Back on deployments, I would just find a phone and see if I can just talk to Jalen for 5-10 minutes. A lot of writing, sending care packages. My husband would tape his games and number them, and I would watch him on the shelf. And I go to my rack at nighttime. I would have Jalen's pictures posted up on the rack, and I would just cry. Some days you wake up and you be like, why am I doing this? But I get up because I knew the outcome. I knew the end result.
So it was a strict household and disciplined household growing up, as you know. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. They raised me the man I am today, and I thank them very much.
He makes it known that, hey, I'm from a military background. I was raised by military parents. I was disciplined. I was taught responsibility and accountability.
The biggest thing was integrity, and applying that throughout your life. Really do the right thing. Be a great person. Be for me, a future husband, future father. I'm a great son, great brother. Being mentally tough, being disciplined with my schoolwork, how to take criticism from coaches, and being disciplined and critiqued and all that, just being mentally tough to just keep pushing forward and persevering. It's a lot of adversity throughout life you're gonna face, and I feel like my parents prepared us for life.
Anytime that someone is honoring veterans and honoring the service that people have done, it is one of the things that make this country great.
Our mission statement on Operation Ramp It Up is to provide freedom, independence, and accessibility. And that's exactly what we're going to do today for Chris. He gave us our freedom that we're here because he served. So we're going to give it back to him today. He has issues getting in and out of his house. The garage is not accessible. His front door, when he comes in with his scooter, he can't make a turn. So the only way for him to get in and out on his scooter is to go through the back onto his patio. So we're pretty much going to make a bridge or a sidewalk out of ramp to get him from the front to the back.
Let's go build something. You the first time building the ramp? Sid?
I've never put in a ramp.
No, you never? It's not even lined up. It got to be to the...
Go ahead.
I heard it was like salute service, building a ramp for a veteran. I'm like, hold on, I want to be a part of that. Doing anything I can to give back to the veterans. They pour a lot into this country, and it's important for us to pour back into them too. So it feels great to come out here and build this ramp.
I was stationed in Mayport, Florida.
Mayport, my parents were stationed there too. I was born in Virginia, in Portsmouth in Norfolk, Virginia, and then moved to Jacksonville when I was like 5.
Well, you said your family was lifetime military.
Oh yeah. So I know all about Mayport, NAS, Jax, all those bases.
Every year we try to find that perfect veteran, that one that's well-deserved. And Chris has done so much in the veteran community. He served in Alaska. He was injured in Alaska. He's had so many injuries. He's in a scooter. He's 100% disabled. Excited that we were able to come and make this project salute the service for him.
On behalf of the Bengals, we're giving you 4 tickets for this game against the Bears. And we're honoring you as our hometown hero. So we appreciate everything you've done. Appreciate you. Not only is he a veteran, but I see my grandfather, I see my dad, I see my stepdad, I see all the veterans in my life in him too. I feel like it's my calling in general to give back community, whether that's veterans, the youth, homeless. In that nature, I'm a very giving person, and I like putting smiles on people's faces. I truly love doing what I do, which is football. And with football comes a lot of responsibilities. If I want to be successful, I want everybody around me to be successful too. That's the biggest thing in my book, whether that's friends, my family, my teammates, coaches, anybody that's around me, I want them to be the best they can.
Up next, we tell you the story of one Bengals fan and military man who is using his gift of songwriting to reach other veterans. Stay with us here on Bengals Weekly. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. For Cincinnati natives, going to Bengals games is just what you do. But for Scotty Hasting, his story goes beyond that. Scotty found his calling to serve his country by joining the military. He then channeled his experiences into songwriting. And now he uses his talents to reach other disabled veterans in an effort to spread the message of hope.
From the very beginning, my mission has always been the same. It will never go away. It is the reason why I do this. For me, I want someone to hear my story. I want them to hear my music, or I want them to see me up on stage, and I want it to help them in some way, shape, or form. I want them to see that, someone who struggles with PTSD, depression, and anxiety, and someone who's been through a lot can get up there and they can be successful. And if I can do it, there's nothing that can stop them from doing it. My name's Scotty Hasting. I'm a combat wounded Army infantryman and country recording artist. I was 21 in 2010, and I decided that I needed to do something that meant something. The military was always kind of in the back of my mind. It was always something that I'd thought about, and then one day I just decided that it was time. I went to basic training, graduated basic training, and then I believe it was a month later, I was in Afghanistan. I ended up getting shot in the Kandahar province of Afghanistan. I got shot 10 times, and that was April 21st, 2011. Someone who suffers from PTSD, depression, anxiety, you're not here a lot of times. You're over in Afghanistan, or you're thinking about your best friends that didn't come home. It's very hard to live in a moment. And when I found music, I was able to live in a moment, and it became magic for me. In 2020, COVID hit, and everything shut down. The world shut down, and it was very quiet. I had a guitar in the corner of the room, and one day I decided I was going to start learning how to play it. I have nerve damage in my hand. I have this much movement in my hand, and I have no feeling whatsoever. So I knew that learning how to play the guitar was going to be challenging enough to where I would have to put all of my focus and everything into it. So I jumped on YouTube and I started learning how to play, and it became an escape for me. It became a way for me to get out of my head and to focus on something, and for me it was therapy. I've been incredibly blessed in this journey that I'm in, that I have been able to work with some incredible organizations. PinFed Foundation, Tonal to Towers, Creative Vets, Guitars for Vets. I mean, there's so many incredible veteran organizations that I've been able to be a part of to try to help. And yeah, Creative Vets, they were the first. They really were. They were the first that I ever knew about. They have since become family. Richard, who created Creative Vets, is an incredible person.
Good to see you, dude. See you all over the place now.
For real.
So I started Creative Vets back in 2013, but it ultimately started back in 2006 when my buddy was killed beside me and I was blown up 4 times, so I have a traumatic brain injury. And when I came home and I struggled and I was almost suicidal, and I thought, well, what can I do with this new brain injury? I decided to take a degree in art and then start writing music because I wanted people to know about my buddy who died, and it ended up just absolutely changing my life. So I decided to design programs that no veteran would want to turn down, and so that's Creative Vets.
It's funny, the first time I ever went into Creative Vets was to write a song. A lot of it is just wanting to write something that's healing for me, and hopefully, it talks to somebody and it's healing for them as well. From the very beginning, my mission is to help. That's all I want to do. I want to help someone. I want to help a veteran put the gun down and try tomorrow, and then try tomorrow. And it's so easy to align myself with incredible organizations that are trying to do the same thing. My dad just passed June 1st. And with my dad, we would always go to games. That's what we did. Those are memories and emotions that I will cherish forever. I grew up in the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area, and I have always wanted to go home and play a show. There's just something about being able to go home and playing in front of people that knew you before you were where you are. I've always wanted to do it. I've never had the opportunity to do it. Everyone that I grew up with has been bugging the crap out of me to come up there and play. And I have always wanted to, and I never got the opportunity, and now we get the opportunity. Now we get the opportunity to play in a way that I never thought possible. It's gonna be truly one of the most full circle moments that I've ever had. It's gonna be incredible, and it's gonna mean everything. This is it's amazing for someone who's from Cincinnati, like this is in your blood, and now I get to truly be a part of something incredible. And I mean, are you kidding me? Like, look at that. Excited isn't even the word, man. I'm beyond excited. It's gonna be incredible.
And now here to perform I'm America, please welcome home Scotty Hasting.
I hope that someone hears my story, and the overwhelming sense that they get is that there's hope. You don't have to be defined by the bad, but you can be defined by what you do with it. The bad doesn't have to control your life, and you can continue to push forward. I really, truly hope that, when people hear my story, or when they hear a song, or they see me on stage, I truly hope that it helps them in some way, shape, or form understand that, you don't have to be defined by what happens to you.
Coming up next, we take a closer look at this week's matchup as AFC North implications are on the line in Week 11. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. The Bengals take on their AFC North rival this weekend in the Steel City. And to help you get set for this Week 11 showdown, ESPN 1530's Tony Pike now joins Dan Hort as he gives us his take on Joe Burrow returning to practice, along with previewing Bengals versus Steelers.
Let's talk about Joe Flacco. What he's done in his first 4 games with minimal practice time seems impossible to me. As a former quarterback, what's impressed you most?
The composure, the ability to pick up a new system. It's a completely different set of verbiage. It's a completely different route tree. It's different concepts. I love how simple he's kept things. And he's the first one to tell you, I know number 1 and I know number 5 are really good players, and I'm going to throw it to them as much as possible. And then you're starting to see everything kind of mesh together. The run game now gets better. The O-line gets better because now he knows he's got opposing defenses kind of in the palm of his hands because you can't guard everyone on this offense. I think he's been fantastic.
Let me follow up on the offensive line. Flacco has been sacked less than twice a game in his 4 starts. The running game is averaging 5.5 yards per carry in those 4 games. Is it time to start giving some love to the often maligned offensive line?
Yes, they deserve it at this point. Dylan Fairchild has been awesome. As a rookie to come in and be tasked with what he's been tasked with. Amarius Mims, I think he's getting better each and every game. Orlando Brown Jr., Jalen Rivers, another rookie, a draft pick for this team that's been relied on many different times. Ted Karras is solid up the middle. I think it's also important to recognize they have a new offensive line coach in Scott Peters. You know, that just doesn't happen overnight. When you're trying to fit new pieces together, it takes time. The offensive line over the last couple weeks has been making very, very good improvements.
The Bengals beat the Steelers 33-31 about a month ago. What are the biggest keys to beating Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh the second time around?
You know, a Mike Tomlin coach team coming off a loss is going to come out swinging early. It's a Steelers team that has been up and down. They beat one of the best teams in the AFC, the Indianapolis Colts, and then just essentially no-showed against the Chargers on Sunday Night Football. You're going to get a focused team. You're going to get a team that's understanding with what's going on in the AFC North, that they have to put their best foot forward. Aaron Rodgers was not good on Sunday night. I would expect him to be much better. It's not a game that I foresee Pittsburgh beating themselves. It's a game you've got to go. You've got to be fundamentally sound. It's still a good defensive line. Jack Sawyer is one of the best rated rookies out there. TJ Watt is still a member. Cam Hayward. You can't let those guys start to feel comfortable. You can't let them start to feel, okay, here we go. Keep them off balance. Keep pushing the ball. I like the tempo at which the Bengals are playing with offensively. And defensively, I know it's cliche, tackle in space. And I think make Aaron Rodgers uncomfortable. Make life a little bit harder on Aaron Rodgers. Get some pressure up the middle. Get some pressure around his feet. And I think you got a great chance to pick up what would be a huge win to get this season right back on track for the Bengals.
No doubt about it. Tony, keep up the great work on ESPN 1530. Thanks so much for your time.
Now, the Bengals enter Sunday's meeting against the Steelers at 2-0 in the division. And with the division being anyone's to take, the team knows what's at stake and how they have to take hold of the opportunity ahead.
This game always comes down to physicality and being able to put your guys in positions to play physical and play fast. So even though we only played them a couple weeks ago, you know that they're going to have a plan and be able to come out and execute it at a high level.
Violence. Number one, violence, precision, and getting the ball back to our offense. That's like our key emphasis is just getting the ball back to our offense and take 11 hats, swarming to the ball every single play. Everyone just focusing on doing their job, just playing with a lot of execution, a lot of violence, and just swarming to the football and just getting 11 hats to it.
Then you get the 2 young guards that are ascending and learning a lot really fast. This is a huge challenge for them. You know, this game in a lot of ways goes as they go. It's a tremendous front group that Pittsburgh has. They present a challenge every game you watch. A lot of times comes down to the trenches in this one, and especially on the road, silent cadence, the advantages that creates for them. And so we have to do a great job. They need to continue to trend upwards in a game like this.
Whenever we play the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's always pretty much the same game, close, back and forth. Got to stop the run. They have big guys up front. Good running back. We have the tackle as well, so we're already kind of just preaching that.
Obviously a huge week because it's a divisional game. I feel like this locker room is going to have that fire regardless. We're a hungry group, man. We're a very hungry unit. You got a bunch of guys in here that really want to win.
Up next, it's Contepelli's Countdown, where I'll tell you all about Charlie Jones's kick return touchdown and where it stands in Bengals history. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. The Jungle was electric just seconds into the game against the Bears. And that was all thanks to Charlie Jones and the special teams unit. Jones's touchdown was the first of the season for the returner, as the Chicago native ran straight to his family, who were sitting in the first row of the end zone that he scored in. And as Chuck sizzled his way down the sideline, he also ran himself into the record books. The 98-yard touchdown return marked the second career kick return touchdown for Jones, and just the first time in team history that the Bengals returned the game's opening kickoff for a touchdown in Cincinnati. Chuck also became the third player to wear the stripes with multiple kick return TDs, but is the first player in team history with multiple kick return scores of 98 or more yards. And with that score, Jones joined Lamar Parrish as the only players in franchise history with 3 or more returns for touchdowns. Now, in that Week 9 game, we saw Joe Flacco throw for a career-high 470 yards and 4 touchdowns. And in doing so, he became just the 4th quarterback in NFL history with at least 1,200 passing yards, 10 touchdown passes, and a passer rating of at least 100 in his first 4 games with the team. Flacco will make NFL history once again this Sunday when he takes the field, as Joe will become the 17th quarterback ever to make at least 200 career regular season starts. In his 18th season, Flacco ranks in the top 25 in league history in career passing yards and touchdown passes. And when Flacco connected in the end zone with Andre Iosivas in Week 9, it marked the 71st different player Flacco has thrown a touchdown to in his career, 4th most in NFL history.
Flacco waits for a shotgun snap, catches the ball shoulder high, back to throw, passes over the middle, caught on the run, Chase Brown to the 5, fighting for the goal line, he's in! Touchdown, Bengals!
And with Flacco under center, Chase Brown has started to find his groove. Brown has eclipsed the 100 scrimmage yardage mark in 3 straight games, logging a season high against Chicago in Week 9. Brown accumulated 317 yards from weeks 7 through 9. That's 4th most among all running backs in that span. Well, DJ has been turning the heat up in the secondary. Turner has a league-high 14 passes defended on the year, as he's one of just 3 players this season to record 5 or more PDs in a single game. DJ also snagged his first 2 career interceptions this season, with the latest coming off of Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. And speaking of Rodgers, the QB posted a season-low 50.6 passer rating in last week's loss to the Chargers, as Pittsburgh scored a season-low 10 points. The Steelers are averaging just 280 total yards of offense per game. That's 4th lowest in the league. And as for their defense, they enter Week 11 allowing a league-high 194 yards to opposing receivers per game. And since Flacco took over the reins in Week 6, Cincinnati's receivers are averaging over 230 yards a game. That's most in the NFL. December 23rd, 2012. The Steelers hosted the Bengals in hopes of making their Christmas wishes come true. But the Bengals had other plans for that chilly afternoon in the Steel City. Not only was Cincinnati looking to put an end to a 5-game skid against their rivals, but a win would knock Pittsburgh out of playoff contention while clinching a playoff berth for Cincinnati. We now take you into the vaults. With a playoff spot on the line, the Bengals visited Heinz Field for a tough AFC North battle with the Steelers.
Big Ben has it, drops back, throws, intercepted by Leon Hall. He's to the 10, running back to the 5, going to the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals!
Leon Hall's 17-yard pick and Josh Brown's 41-yard field goal gave Cincinnati a 10-0 lead in a defensive battle.
The Steelers at their own 29-yard line. Roethlisberger takes the shotgun snap, drops back about 3 steps, scrambles to the right. Now he throws downfield. It is intercepted by Reggie Nelson. Runs it back to the 50 and steps out of bounds.
The Bengals defense added 3 sacks and another pick before Andy Dalton hit A.J. Green for 21 yards to set up Brown's 43-yard game winner.
And he takes the shotgun snap. He's looking, he throws, he's got a man open, it's caught! A.J. Green goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
The kick sealed the Bengals' first win over Pittsburgh since 2009 and clinched Cincinnati a playoff berth while eliminating the Steelers from contention. When we return, it's time for Social Spotlight, and we'll show you how Flacco fever has taken over the field. Stay with us here on Bengals Weekly. This fall, the Bengals have teamed up with Ohio Cat to bring the jungle to you. Every Friday during the football season, we will be out at a different high school football game, cheering on our local teams. Students and fans have the opportunity to take pictures with Houday, show off their best school spirit, and win great prizes. Rule your school and be on the lookout for Friday night stripes, because the Bengals and Ohio Cat could be coming to your game next. It's now time for our weekly Social Spotlight segment, and we are going to turn it back to Week 9 with our first post. Now, the NFL highlighting the longest touchdowns from that week, and you love to see not one, but two Bengals make that list. Charlie Jones' longest touchdown was in Week 9, 98-yard kick return on the opening kick of that game. And you also have T. Higgins entering the list. He was good for the 5th longest, of course, connecting with Joe Flacco on a 44-yard score. Now, when it comes to Jamar Chase, well, he topped 100 yards again in Week 9, keeping him near the top of the NFL receiving yardage leader. And of course, he was getting the nod of approval from one of the greats, Chad Ochocinco. And also to note, Uno is the lone AFC receiver in the top 5. Now, we had ourselves a Flacco Friday last week. Flacco threw for a career-best 470 yards in Week 9, as it marked the most passing yards by a quarterback over the age of 40 in NFL history. Now, make sure you are following along with the Bengals social media channels all season long. To find us, all you have to do is search @Bengals and give us a follow. The Bengals and Steelers kick off Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and you can catch all the action on your local CBS station. You can also check out one of the streaming options, including Paramount Plus in market, NFL Sunday Ticket out of market, and NFL Game Pass internationally. And as always, you can listen in to Dan Horde and Dave Lapham on the Bengals Radio Network. Thanks for tuning in to Bengals Weekly. Kickoff between the Bengals and the Steelers is coming up. For Dan Horde, Dave Lapham, Jeff Hobson, and our entire crew, I'm Marissa Contapelli. We'll see you next week. Bengals Weekly was brought to you by Paycor, proud to be the official HR software provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. AltaFiber, the official Wi-Fi and internet provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. Your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. And Kettering Health, the official healthcare provider of the Cincinnati Bengals.